Testing 1, 2. Comfy. I think we're ready. What is up, everyone? It is me with ADHD. How's everyone doing? With all the stuff that we've got going on right now in the world, most people's work has changed pretty dramatically, right? Lots of people are working from home right now, which is a new different thing for them, especially for office workers like myself. The restrictions on how offices need to be run now is pretty different to what it used to be. It's actually making tons of businesses actually look into whether or not they're even gonna actually return to their office. I mean, the way you set up now, you can do like all of that work by Skype or by Teams or whatever you're using. I mean, so why not, right? It is pretty convenient for people, but how convenient is it for ADHDers? Well, I personally work from home, so how do my days normally go? Well, this is usually how I look day to day. Gotta be comfy, right? There's not much point in getting dressed for work at home. I try to do most of my work in the morning because, let's be honest, that's when my attention is at its peak for work stuff. I did actually have to remove my Switch from my room too, because having it sat there next to me was too much of a big distraction for me. Oh, and I also had to remove my Oculus too, because life in VR is way more fun than work life. The rest of my day is probably spent in a ongoing battle between getting really small amounts of work done, getting snacks, and taking naps, and watching Hoarders on TV. Man, I love that show. Even this video itself took me like 3 days to film because I just couldn't get myself to focus on making the video. So I filmed these bits a couple of days ago, and then I realized halfway through filming that I was distracted because my chair was uncomfy and I wanted a new chair. So then I went out and I bought a new chair, and then I spent the next hour piecing it all together and putting it together. And yeah, to be fair, it's pretty comfy. I am definitely more relaxed in this chair than I was in my other chair, so that's pretty cool. I do enjoy it. The problem is, before I knew it, it was like 5 in the evening and my Adderall had worn off, and I mean, my day was totally done then by that point, right? That's when you're a zombie on the sofa then. What's even funnier to me is that before I had work that I had to do, I had created a list a while back, like a month ago, on chores that I needed to be doing around the house. And I had avoided that list like it was the plague. Anything and everything was more important than the chores that I had to do on that list. Now I have actual work to do. I finished more on that list than I did the entire last month. I cleaned out my entire garage last week. Like the whole thing. It's crazy. For most people, there are tons of positives about working at home. You know, you get to spend time with your family. You get to have the freedom of being in your own home, which means wearing comfy clothes all the time and taking things at your own pace. And of course, you don't have to work to specific hours. You can just make your own schedule. When I think about that as an ADHDer though, I see nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. For me, not getting dressed and ready in the morning, it promotes a lazy mentality in my mind. I don't know if that's because I had an office job for so long before and my days off were like always spent on the weekends sat in pajamas. So like my brain thinks that it's time to laze around when I stay in pajamas. Taking things at my own pace and creating my own schedule also makes things harder for ADHDers because it gives you no immediate deadline, which subconsciously makes you put things off because we tend to work at last minute land, right? That's when the dopamine finally hits and we can hyperfocus. So without that, you're just living with no sense of urgency at all. I think working from home doesn't give most people enough of a schedule and a routine to follow that it makes it difficult to see what's a priority. Even if you do have a routine that you've tried to lay out, like I can say something like, okay, Tuesday, I'm gonna work on that project. Like, who's here to hold me accountable? Myself? Oh my God, I am so bored. Ooh, crabs. What you doing there, Chris? Nothing. Just doing work. Okay, because by the sound of it, it sounded like you were watching YouTube videos. No, I wasn't watching anything. I was just doing work. Strange, because we both know that you have work to do and you shouldn't be watching them, so you wouldn't be doing that, right? Nope, not me. I was working hard. It wasn't me. Alright, we'll get back to work. Alright, thanks. Stupid fool telling me what to do. You don't run my life. What was that? Nothing! Nothing! I said nothing. Sometimes when you have a deadline and it has to be done like that day, you can start out working but then get distracted by YouTube or TikTok or games, and then before you know it, it's after lunchtime and you still haven't got it done. But ADHDers have such a bad concept of time that you think, oh, it's fine, I still have like all day to do this. You aren't thinking about the fact that you have to eat in that time, you have to go and do other things, other chores maybe you have. If you live with a spouse, like you have to go and talk and spend time and do all that kind of stuff. So that all takes up time, and before you know it, it's like 9 p.m. and you're still working on the same project. Now you're going to be working till 11:59 p.m. on that project because it's got to be in that night. Hyperfocus has finally kicked in the mere hours before the end of the deadline. Isn't that just great? This is why it's so difficult for ADHDers to work from home. When you're at a place of work, your brain associates that place with work. You get dressed and ready into an outfit that you associate with work. You have a set amount of hours you work there for, so you need to get the work done before the end of that time. Whereas at home, you have none of these. You have to create these yourself and hold yourself accountable for getting the work done. It's difficult. I know you guys have been struggling with it too. I know you guys. Don't forget, I know who you are. Alright? So here's what I'm gonna do going forward. I am gonna make an alarm an hour earlier than I have currently. I'm gonna force myself to get up and either work out a little or just get showered right away. I'm gonna get dressed into a work appropriate outfit. I'm gonna put my phone over on the other side of the room. I would take it out of the room, but I need it for work calls. And I will set myself proper hours of work. I'm gonna work from 9 to 12. I'm gonna take an hour for lunch, and then I'm gonna work from 1 to 5 and then done. I don't know if it'll work, all right? It probably won't work. But holding yourself accountable is such a big learning curve for ADHDers. And I think once I get it down, I'll be way more accomplished. What do you guys do to stay productive at home? Like, tell me and help me. Please help me so I can stop this horrible cycle. Let me know I'm not alone here, guys. That's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you comment below on what you're doing to stay busy. Like the video if you did. Do not forget to subscribe. I know that 5% of people who are watching this are only subscribed. The other 95% are not. And I know who you are. So just watch out, okay? So don't forget to subscribe. Stay up to date with all my new content, and I will see you guys in the next one.